The Forbidden Discovery. Dr. Maya Patel stood at the observation platform of the Quantum Physics Institute, watching the holographic simulation of her team's latest breakthrough hover in the air before her. The blue-green glow illuminated her face as she studied the quantum particles dancing in perfect harmony, a seemingly simple pattern that violated everything the Galactic Council believed about physics. Energy consumption is down to 12% of previous trials, her assistant, Dr. Eli Chen, said as he joined her on the platform. We've created a stable quantum bridge using less power than it takes to run this facility's lighting system. Maya nodded, her eyes never leaving the simulation. The council said this was impossible, that humanity was centuries away from this level of quantum manipulation. Well, they didn't account for human stubbornness, Eli replied with a hint of pride, or our tendency to ignore established limitations. Maya was about to respond when the facility's AI interrupted. Dr. Patel, I'm detecting an unscheduled arrival. A Tauri Confederacy diplomatic vessel has entered Earth orbit and is requesting immediate landing clearance at the Institute. Maya and Eli exchanged concerned glances. The Tauri Confederacy, the enforcement arm of the Galactic Council, wasn't due for their regular inspection for another 6 months. The timing couldn't be worse. How do they know? Eli whispered. Quantum disturbances are difficult to hide, Maya said, quickly backing up their research data to the secure quantum-encrypted servers. I just didn't think they'd be monitoring us this closely. Within 30 minutes, 3 Tauri representatives stood in the Institute's main conference room. Their translucent bodies shifted between various shades of blue and violet, a sign of agitation that Maya had learned to recognize during humanity's decade of supervised development under Council guidance. The lead representative, who had introduced itself as Overseer Valen, fixed Maya with all 3 of its sensory clusters. Dr. Patel, our monitoring stations detected quantum resonance patterns originating from this facility. These patterns match prohibited research categories under Council Directive 578. Maya maintained her composure, though her heart raced. We're conducting basic quantum research within the parameters established for Class 3 developing civilizations. Do not insult our intelligence, another representative chimed in, its body pulsing with darker hues. You've achieved quantum bridging, a technology restricted until a civilization reaches Class 1 status. Humanity is centuries away from such advancement. Or perhaps your development scale isn't as universal as you believe, Maya challenged. The third representative moved forward, towering over her. The scale exists for your protection. Young species lack the wisdom to handle certain technologies responsibly. You mean we lack the evolutionary history to be trusted, Maya countered. How convenient that the species who arrived first get to make the rules for everyone else. Overseer Valen's form shifted to a deep indigo. This is not a philosophical discussion, Dr. Patel. Your research violates Council law. All data must be purged, and your team will be restricted from quantum studies for 50 standard cycles. An alarm suddenly cut through the tension as the facility's security system detected multiple ships entering Earth's atmosphere. On the wall display, a dozen Tauri enforcement vessels took up positions around the Institute. A precautionary measure, Valen explained calmly. Your military installations have been temporarily neutralized. Resistance would be both futile and unfortunate. Maya's hand moved subtly to the emergency signal button hidden beneath the conference table. Throughout the Institute, systems that had been developed in secret over the past 5 years began powering up. All across Earth, similar protocols were activating. That would be a mistake, she said quietly. We've spent years studying your technology, learning how it works, understanding its principles. Impossible, Valen dismissed. Our technology is secured against analysis. Is it? Maya challenged. Did you ever wonder why humans were so interested in your technical demonstrations? Why we asked so many naive questions? We weren't just admiring advanced technology. We were learning its limitations. For the first time, uncertainty rippled through Valen's form. Outside the viewport, the Tory vessels suddenly found their targeting systems scrambled by frequencies they had dismissed as primitive background radiation. Admiral Reyes. Maya spoke into her communicator. Would you please give our guests a demonstration? Around the planet, thousands of seemingly ordinary satellites simultaneously activated specialized emitters. Individually, each was insignificant, but together, they created a quantum disruption field that the Tory ships had no defense against. Their supposedly impenetrable shields flickered and failed. How is this possible? Valen demanded, its form pulsing erratically. You restricted our quantum research, so we developed alternative methods, Maya explained. You've become so dependent on complex solutions that you've forgotten the power of simpler approaches. That's humanity's advantage. We find unexpected paths when the main road is blocked. On the display screens, Tory ships were drifting, their propulsion systems disabled by carefully calibrated electromagnetic pulses from Earth's defense grid. This is an act of war against the Council, Valen warned. No, Maya corrected. This is a demonstration of why your classification system is flawed. Humanity isn't asking for war. We're asking to develop on our own terms, without artificial restrictions. Our quantum bridge technology could revolutionize energy production and transportation for developing worlds across the galaxy. The Council will never permit such defiance, the second representative insisted. Maya smiled for the first time since their arrival. I don't think the Council has a choice anymore. Our defensive measures have been shared with every human colony. Any attempt to force compliance would be met with similar resistance. At that moment, General Sofia Rodriguez entered the conference room, her uniform bearing the insignia of Earth's United Defense Force. Our fleet has secured the Tory vessels, and all crew are unharmed, she reported. Our quantum communication network has also informed the Council High Command of the situation. Valen's form had settled into a pale blue, a sign of reluctant acceptance. The Council will require assurances that your technologies won't destabilize galactic peace, and humanity will require assurances that we won't be treated as children anymore. Maya countered. We're prepared to collaborate, not subjugate. As Maya led the delegation toward the Quantum Research Lab to begin discussions, she caught Ely's gaze across the room. He gave her a subtle nod of approval. Humanity had just changed the rules of the game. What had begun as a simple quantum physics experiment had evolved into something much more significant. The day Earth finally stood up to the stars and demanded to be treated as equals. In the observation room overlooking Earth, General Rodriguez watched the Tory representatives examining Maya's quantum bridge technology. Do you think they'll actually negotiate? She asked Admiral James Reyes, who had joined her. They don't have much choice, Reyes replied. Today humanity proved we won't be contained by their rules. The age of Council guidance is over. The age of human innovation has begun. Humanity's countermove. 3 days after the standoff at the Quantum Physics Institute, Admiral James Reyes stood in the command center of Lunar Base Artemis, watching as hundreds of Galactic Council vessels emerged from hyperspace. Their crystalline hulls captured the sunlight, creating a spectacle that would have been beautiful if not for the imminent threat they represented. The Council certainly doesn't waste time, remarked General Sofia Rodriguez, who had arrived from Earth via the newly established quantum transport system. They've committed nearly a third of their enforcement fleet, Reyes noted, studying the tactical display. Exactly as Dr. Patel predicted. The holographic display showed the Council ships arranging themselves in a complex three-dimensional formation that their tactical algorithms considered optimal for subduing a rebellious civilization. The formation was mathematically perfect, and therein lay its vulnerability. Status of Operation Ripple? Rodriguez asked. Lieutenant Commander Zhou Zhang looked up from her console. All systems are green, General. The quantum interference network is fully operational. Satellite grid is powered and synchronized. Dr. Maya Patil entered the command center, accompanied by Eli Chen and a team of scientists. Dark circles under their eyes revealed sleepless nights of preparation, but their expressions showed determined resolve. "The Council has rejected our proposal for reclassification," Maya announced. "High Command has declared Earth to be in violation of 17 different development protocols and has authorized corrective measures to bring us back into compliance." Translation: "They're going to force us to destroy our research and accept their oversight," Eli added. Rise nodded grimly. "We expected this. They've built their entire galactic order on the premise that species develop along predictable, controllable paths. Accepting that humans found another way would undermine their authority." "Incoming transmission from the Council flagship," Zhang announced. The main display switched to show a towering Tauri commander, its crystalline body glowing with authoritative purple hues. "This is Grand Executor Kalon of the Galactic Council Enforcement Division. Your world stands in violation of Council law. You will surrender all prohibited research, dismantle your defensive systems, and accept Council supervision. You have 1 standard hour to comply before we implement containment protocols." Maya stepped forward. "This is Dr. Maya Patil of Earth. We reject your ultimatum. Humanity has the right to develop without artificial constraints. We propose instead immediate recognition of Earth as a sovereign entity and open negotiations regarding technology sharing." The Grand Executor's form pulsed with what humans had come to recognize as contempt. "Your species' arrogance exceeds your understanding. You play with forces beyond your comprehension. The protocols exist to prevent developing worlds from destroying themselves and others. Our understanding is precisely what concerns you," Maya countered. "Humans found connections in quantum physics that your scientists overlooked. We developed defensive capabilities using principles you dismissed as primitive. Perhaps it's not that we know too little, but that we see what your rigid thinking has missed." The transmission cut off abruptly. "They're powering weapons systems," Zhang reported. "Multiple targeting locks detected." Reyes turned to Maya. "Are you sure this will work? We're betting everything on your team's calculations." "The Council's ships are marvels of advanced technology," Maya replied confidently. "But they've optimized their systems around complex quantum manipulations, making them vulnerable to simple interference patterns, like how a precisely tuned crystal can shatter from the right frequency of sound." Rodriguez nodded. "Then let's show them why underestimating humanity is always a mistake. Execute Operation Ripple." Around Earth and throughout the solar system, thousands of satellites and orbital platforms that the Council had dismissed as primitive communication relays simultaneously activated their quantum resonance generators. Each emitted a precisely calibrated pulse that would barely register on the Council's advanced sensors, but together they created an interference pattern that rippled through space. The effect was immediate and devastating. The Council ship's perfect formation began to waver as their quantum field generators encountered unexpected resistance. Their weapons, shields, and propulsion systems, all dependent on stable quantum fields, fluctuated wildly. "How is this possible?" Grand Executor Kalon's transmission cut through all channels, its crystalline form vibrating with confusion. "Your technology is insufficient to affect our defenses. That's your fundamental misunderstanding," Maya replied calmly. "You've become so reliant on complex solutions that you've forgotten the power of basic principles. Your quantum fields are so advanced that you never considered they might be vulnerable to elementary interference patterns." On the tactical display, the Council fleet's formation was dissolving into chaos. Ships designed to withstand the most sophisticated attacks found themselves unable to maintain basic functions as the quantum disruptions cascaded through their systems. "They're trying to adapt," Eli observed, watching the data streams. "But their automated systems can only respond with pre-programmed solutions. They've lost the ability to improvise." Rodriguez watched as the mighty Council fleet, pride of the galaxy's most advanced civilization, was effectively neutralized without a single direct attack. "No shots fired," she marveled. "Just carefully calculated interference that turns their own complexity against them." "Admiral," Maya said quietly, "I think it's time to show them what else we've learned while they weren't paying attention." Reyes nodded. Activate the quantum bridge network. Across the solar system, hidden generators powered up, creating a series of interconnected quantum bridges. Suddenly, Earth vessels appeared from seemingly nowhere, positioning themselves strategically throughout the disabled Council fleet. These weren't the primitive spacecraft the Council expected. They were advanced hybrid vessels that incorporated both human innovation and reverse-engineered Council technology. All Earth vessels report ready, Zhang announced. Quantum bridges stable and operational. The command center fell silent as Grand Executor Kalun's image appeared once more on the main display. The crystalline being's hues had shifted to a subdued blue, the Tauri equivalent of shocked resignation. You have disabled a Council enforcement fleet using technology that should be beyond your capabilities, Kalun stated. The Council must reassess its understanding of human development. We're prepared to assist with restoring your ship's functionality, Maya offered, and to demonstrate that our intentions are cooperative, not destructive. Hours later, as Council engineers worked alongside human scientists to stabilize their vessels, Maya found herself in a direct quantum communication with the Council's high command. 7 crystalline beings, representing the oldest and most advanced species in the galaxy, regarded her with what she could only interpret as wary respect. You understand, Dr. Patel, that this event changes the relationship between Earth and the galactic community. The High Speaker's translated voice resonated through the quantum link. That's precisely what we hoped for, Maya replied. Humanity doesn't want to disrupt galactic stability. We want to contribute as equals, not as subordinates. Your quantum bridge technology alone would revolutionize transportation throughout the galaxy, another Council member observed. And your approach to quantum field manipulation suggests possibilities our scientists hadn't considered. Because they were looking for complex solutions to complex problems, Maya explained. Humans tend to find unexpected shortcuts. It's part of our nature to question established parameters. After lengthy deliberation, the High Speaker addressed Maya again. The Council has reached a consensus. Earth will be reclassified as a Class 1 civilization with immediate effect. Your quantum technologies will be recognized, and restrictions on human development will be lifted. In exchange, another member added, humanity will agree to share its innovations through the Council's scientific exchange programs and participate in the mutual defense protocols. Maya smiled. Earth will be pleased to accept these terms. As the communication ended, Maya turned to find Admiral Rice waiting for her. Congratulations, Doctor, he said with a rare smile. You've just rewritten humanity's future. We all did, Maya corrected, looking around at the scientists and military personnel who had worked together to make this moment possible. The Council thought they understood human development, but they never accounted for our greatest strength. Which is? Rise asked. Our ability to collaborate, adapt, and find opportunity in limitation, Maya replied. They saw our creativity as a threat to be controlled. We showed them it's actually our greatest contribution to the galaxy. Outside the viewport, Earth shone brilliantly against the darkness of space. For millennia, humans had looked to the stars and dreamed of taking their place among them. Today, they had proven they belonged there, not by following the path others had laid out, but by forging their own. A new chapter in human history had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.